Hello friends, welcome to my channel. This is Charan. In this video tutorial, I will explain how to display or fetch the number of records dynamically from a database with a drop-down list in a Django Python web applications. And here we got the final output after I read the browser. We got one drop-down list with some numeric values to display the rows from this table and one button control. At this moment, it displaying all the 10 records from this table. Right now, see, we got 10 records in the student table. Let's select, I want to display only 5 records from this table, show records. See here, we got 5 records. If the user wants to display 8 records, 8, we got 8 records. 10 records. If the user wants to display only 3 records from the table, 3, show records 3. If you are a first time visitor to my channel, please subscribe to get the latest updates. Before creating a new Django web application, first let's check the table in the database. The table name is a student and the database name is a child. Right now this student table contains around 10 records with 3 columns. ID is the auto-generated column, student name and gender. Now my aim is I want to select the user to display number of rows from this table. For example, if a user wants to display only 5 records, you can use like this one, the drop down list, and select 5, it displays 5 records from the table. If a user selects 10, it displays all the 10 records. If a user selects 8, the number of rows, it will display 8 records from this table. So let's write the functionality in Django web application. I'm using Visual Studio Code to create a Django web application. For that, go to File, Open Folder. I'm creating a new folder for the application in the E drive. I click the mouse, New, and select folder. And the folder name is Django display records. Let's add the display records. Select folder. And here the folder is added successfully. And notice right now this folder contains 0 records or 0 files or folders. At the right side we got the welcome page. Let's close this welcome page. Now let's create a new application in this folder. For that, go to View, select Terminal. And here we got our terminal, which is nothing but a PowerShell or command prompt. And also notice the path here, the Django display records, which is nothing but our folder name. And this folder I have created in this E drive. So now let's create an application, Django-admin start project. And the project name is display number of records. num.rec is an application name. Display num.rec is my application name. Enter. And see here the display num.rec has been created, which is our application, Django application. Let me expand this application. If you notice, when I expand this application, there is one subfolder with the same project name and one manage.py Python file. Let me allow to expand this subfolder also. See, when I expand the subfolder, there is some default Python files are added like settings.py, urls.py, etc. All these files and folders has been created automatically when I create this application. Now the next step is, let's add this application to the path cd. So after adding the application to the path, now let's create a models in this subfolder of our application. Select the subfolder name, right click the mouse, new file. The file name is models.py. And here we got our models page. Now in this models page contains a class with the properties and my table name from the database. So let's add the necessary namespaces from django.db import models. After that, let's create a class called display data, which contains a models.model. colon, and the properties. This class contains the properties. The properties are nothing but, if you check in our table, we have 3 columns: ID, student name, and gender. ID is auto-generated column, so I'm not adding ID column. So I'm creating 2 properties for the student name and gender. So I can switch over to the models.py. Student name is equals to models dot. We'll add the data type, which is a char field, and max underscore length is equals to 150. Then the gender is another property name, models dot char field, max underscore length is equals to 1. The max length is equals to 1 I have given. If you check in our table, the column gender contains only the single character, and the data type is also char type for this gender column. Now the next step, we'll add a class called Metaclass, and this Metaclass contains our table name, db underscore table, and column between double quotes. We'll add our table name. The table name is a student table. Copy that one and paste here. That's it. And let's save this models page. Now the next step, we require the views. Right click the subfolder again, click new file. The file name is the views. Here we got the views.py Python file. In this views page contains the logic. We'll write the code to display how many records will be want to display dynamically. So first let's add the namespaces Django.shortcuts, shortcuts import render. Next we require the models also. From display my application name models import. The model name is display data. Copy that one and paste here. After that, let's declare a def show data is my function which contains a request, and this function return render requesting the template. Within single quotes I'm adding index.html. If you notice here in our application, we don't have any index.html templates. So let's add this template name index.html. Select the root folder of your application, right click the mouse, new folder. The folder name is a templates. And now in the templates folder, we'll add index.html. All my templates will be in this templates folder. Select the templates folder, right click the mouse, new file. Let's add the index.html. And here we got our HTML page. Let's add one h1 tag and display data. Let's add dynamically display number of rows from the table. Let's add in the Django web tutorials. After adding the headings, I'm adding horizontal line. After the horizontal line, I'm adding the table. With this table contains a border 1. Let's add the table rows. In this table rows, we'll add the table headers, student ID. Next one, table headers, student name, and student gender. Let's add the gender. The heading is the gender. Then tr, let's add the table data. The table data, we are fetching records from the database. So here in the views, let's fetch the records first. Let's add the results here. Results is an object is equals to display data dot objects dot all. I want to get all the objects from the display data, and this display data contains our student properties, which are the column names and our table name. All. Let's save this application first. Save all and index.html. Here I am adding one for loop to fetch the records. For x in, I am adding here one dictionary to get the records. Show is a key, and the values we are getting from the results. This is object is a values results. Let's copy this show, the key value of the dictionary, and paste here. Then let's close this for loop also with end for. I want to display here x.id, x.student name, the column names I'm adding here, d, x.gender. These column names I'm adding here. Let's save this application first. Now we need to configure the URLs. Let's open the urls.py from .import views. After that, path between single quotes. Now this path will be the default home page of our application. So views dot, I am adding my function name. So I am accessing this function. Then this function contains this index.html templates. So let's copy this function name and paste here. Let's add comma here. After that, let's save this file, save all. Then we need to configure the database. So to configure the database, we need to open the settings.py, open that one. In the settings.py, before configuring the database, there are two important steps we need to configure in this settings.py. First, we need to install our application name. Our application name is display num, which is this one. We need to install _app section here. Let's add our application name between single quotes. Add the comma, and notice here the template section, which contains one directories. Here I'm adding my path.join. I'm joining the templates with the base directory. Between single quotes is the templates. So these templates, which is nothing but a folder name templates. So make sure the templates is same name. Then come to the bottom. Notice here the database, the default database engine is a SQLite, but we are using MySQL. So after adding the engine, next here the name contains our database name. Our database name is the Charan database. So let's add the database name is Charan. After that, user is the root, and we require the password also. Here the password, I am not adding any password here because I don't have any password to log into my phpmyadmin database. If you have any password, please enter between these single quotes in this password section. Then the next property I'm adding in the database section, which is a host name. Host is the local host, and we require the port number of our database. To find out the port number of MySQL database, switch over to the database. See here the MySQL 3308, which is our port number of the phpmyadmin database. Let's copy that one, or just type 3308. And the last one, we require the options. Between curly brackets, between single quotes, I'm initializing the command colon between double quotes. Let's set the SQL _mode is equals to between single quotes strict underscore trans underscore tables. Let's add the comma here. That's it, we have added the connection string. Let's save this file, save all. I'm saving the whole application. Before adding the functionality to display the selected number of rows, let's check the output, how it looks on the browser. Python, not here. Save this file first. Now come to the command prompt, Python manage.py run server. See, after I run server, we don't have any issues. Below is our web server link. Let's run that application. Control plus mouse click. Oops, here we got an error. Table children display name does not exist. Let's fix that one. The models. See here the class metadata db underscore table, it's not colon, it's equals to student. The table name is. Let's save this file. So after we save the file, we don't have any issues. Let's reload the browser again. And now we got all the data from the table, student ID, student name and gender, all the 10 records, 10 rows from the table. Now my next target is we'll add one drop down list, and that drop down list contains some numeric values, around 5 rows or 6 rows or 10 rows. We'll add and one button control, so user can select how many records they want to display with the drop down list. So first let's add one drop down list in the index.html. Above the drop down list, I'm adding one simple center tag, so the data will display in the center of the browser. Then we'll add one select option element. Select name is equals to show records, and let's add the options. Select, and this one selected disabled is equals to true. The next option, it's not options, it's option. So that's the reason they're not getting. I will write again. Option select disabled selected is equals to true. Now let's add the options. Option, I want to some random numbers here. I'm adding 3. I want to display 3 rows from the table. The next option around 6. Option 8. Let's add the option 10. We'll add one more option 5. Copy this one. Here this one is 5. After the select element, I'm adding one button control. The type of the button is a submit, and the value of the button control is a show records. Now here we are posting the data to fetch the records, so I'm adding the form element with the method post, and this form tag I'm adding at the bottom of the table. So in Django applications, when we are posting the data, so we need to add one command called %% csrf_token. This is very important step in Django applications. When we are posting the data, we need to add this token. Otherwise, we'll get an error. The reason we are adding this token, it protects the data from the hackers. So make sure when you're posting data in Django, add this token. Let's save this file. Now we check the output after adding the select element and button control. I'm reloading the browser. See, here we got the select element and the button control. Now when I use the select, for example 6, I want to display only 6 records, 6 rows from the table. Show records, it displays 6 records from this table. Let's do the functionality. Switch to the views. Here I'm adding if request dot method double equals to post. I'm posting the data. Results, make sure give the indent, proper indent, otherwise you'll get an error. Let's add an array colon int, and I'm passing the integer value. And so here a request dot post dot get method. In this get method I'm adding my select element name, which is a show records. Between single quotes I'm adding that one. That's it. Make sure this line need to add the integer type, otherwise you'll get an error. Let's save this file. We'll check the output. After we run the server, we don't have any issues. Let's reload the browser. Whoops, again we got an error. Here we have added if condition. We need to add the else also here. Else part. In the else part, results. Let's, instead of writing the same code, let's copy this one and paste here. When page loads, I want to display all the records from the table. That's it. Let's save this file. Save. Now let's reload the browser to check the output. And here we got the final output after I reload the browser. We got one drop-down list with some numeric values to display the rows from this table and one button control. At this moment, it's displaying all the 10 records from this table. Right now, see, we got 10 records in the student table. Let's select, I want to display only 5 records from this table, show records. See here, we got 5 records. If the user wants to display 8 records, 8, we got 8 records. 10 records. If the user wants to display only 3 records from the table, 3, show records 3. That's it. In this video tutorial, I have explained how to display the number of rows from a table dynamically in a Django web application. Thanks for watching and please subscribe my channel.